Are we started yet?
Okay, let's start. Good evening, everyone. My name is Hilary
All
Matthew.
right.
Please, if you have your mic on, please, it would be nice if you can mute it. I'm not sure your mic is on. Okay. Thank you, everyone, for coming to this webinar. Let's talk at our purpose. Sorry, initially, the link. I didn't know what happened. I think I mistakenly ended the first link, but I just sent an email, a quick one, to reschedule the link. I don't know if some people will be having difficult times anything, but let's hope so. Let's hope everyone gets in with time as time goes on. Thank you very much for everyone for joining. Okay, I'll have to show my face because I'm the facilitator. Um, okay, I believe everyone can see me. Yeah. Please, if you have your mic on, please kindly mute it. There will be time for everyone to talk, please. Someone's mic is on and it's quite noisy over there. I think it's Mark Nicholas. Okay. All right. Thank you, everyone. So we just have to start today. Um, what today is going to be about is going to be a very interactive session for everyone to talk. Particularly, is going to be for us to reflect on how we do art and why we do art. Because purpose, purpose is a word that means why we do what we do. Why did I actually target art and purpose? Because I think before you do something, you actually know why you are doing something. So the why is really important to know why. So I'll share my why. I would like to hear from each and every one of us here. We'll have the speakers, tell their own part of their insights. Then we'll have everyone contribute, to just to learn from each other, the process of creating our art and all that. So before I start, this program is in collaboration with National Art in Health Week. It's a federal government um, program that tends to deal with art, combining art and health. So this is just like a day because it runs from the 6th of May to the 12th of May. So this program here is part of the general program. So that's all how, because if you look at the banner, you will see all the names and all sorts of that. So we'll start off by I'll share my screen. I'll share my screen so everyone can see. First of all, I would like to introduce one of the speakers, Chidindu Udaha. Please, can you identify if you are here? I think I saw you initially. Okay, probably he's not here yet. So I'll share my screen so everyone can see. Please confirm if you can see my screen. Please don't mind about the whole this thing. The whole we are not here for any class. We are not here to teach any. We are just here to discuss. But it's important for us to just to write down these things. Before I start, I'll tell a bit story of about myself because some of us who don't know me, my name is Hilary Emetuche. I'm currently an artist, but I reside in the United Kingdom. I'm currently studying. I'm doing my master's degree, but art is what I do. Art is all I have been doing. So most of my friends, most of the people who know me because I'm an artist. I'm a creator. I draw. I do photography. I do all sorts of things. I do music as well. So, but my journey started back when I was a little kid. I like just like every one of us, I started drawing, and back in those days, I don't know, for a typical Nigerian home, my parents didn't allow me to draw. They would always tell me to go and read my book, but I didn't, stop until it got to a point when I got to the university. I stopped entirely at a point. I got discouraged. I stopped entirely. So I got to the university, and I met a friend, Vincent Obinka. He should be here. He's a very renowned artist as well. He's quite exposed in the art world as well. So he encouraged me to go back to art. He introduced me to the likes of Kelvin Okafor, Arinze Stanley, the normal hyper realistic artists Nigeria have today. So it's it rekindled my passion for art. So I got back to drawing. I went back home, started drawing and all that. That was how I started again. But I used to hide from my from my parents. I used to hide from my parents until when I got a grant to get interviewed by the BBC. So after the interview, my father now saw that, oh, this is getting serious. He now started encouraging me and all that. So that was how I started drawing. To fast forward today, I've made a lot of mistake. I'm not currently where I am. I'm still learning. We are all learning. We have this vision to be where we are. We look up to others, people who we look up to, artists who we say, oh, I would like to be like this person. So this art of a thing is a journey. You understand? So art is an expression of human creativity, imagination, skill across various medium. Some of us are painters, some of us are poets, some of us are photographers, some of us are, you know, singers, musicians. All of these things encompasses in art. Then purpose is the underlying motivation that provides direction and meaning to life. It drives individuals to pursue passion, contribute positively, and leave a lasting. So this is sorry. So these are just random definitions I got off the internet. Please, can you hear me? Can you hear me, please? I would like to have a feedback.
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, okay, okay,
Yes.
okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. Okay. So, um, art and purpose. Um, art is art. To me, art doesn't have a definition. What we are currently doing now is art. It's art and comprises everything that we do, our day-to-day activities, our some of us take it as our life work, our life career, what we do to earn money. Some of us do it for hobbies, some of us do it for different things. But joining it with purpose is actually trying to embroaden the why we actually do what we do, what we call art. So that is the purpose of this webinar, just for us to share our own perspective of how we understand art and all that. Okay, I would like to introduce the speakers. I have Excel here. Excel is an artist. Excel is a He's also a master student here in the UK. He's an artist. He's a friend of mine. Um, Back in school, we went to the same school together. So he's also passionate about art, and he has his journey too. He has his story to share. So I think Chijindu is back. Chijindu, are you currently, can you hear me now? Are you with us? Please identify if you can.
Yes, yes, I can hear
Okay,
you.
Chijindu,
I can
to
hear
be
you.
honest, I've not seen Chijindu physically, but I think we have this vibe. I think we have this vibe. He's someone who I relate to his work to. His level of understanding is what actually makes me relate with him. So he's one of the speakers. They will share their insights. We all share our insights as well. So because of time, we just going into it. To me, purpose is why we do something. The reason for us to do something. Um, I'll share my screen. There's a concept called Ikigai. I don't know. Some of us here would know the meaning of Ikigai. Ikigai is a. I'll share my screen once more. Please, if it gets to a point where my network just misbehaves, please, you can just drop a chat, or probably when you can't hear me, you can just drop a chat, or notify me. Thank you very much. Okay, I'll share my screen. Okay, so can you see my screen? Please, I need a. Okay,
Yes,
thank you very much.
yes.
Okay, Ikigai means reason for being. So I like using myself as an example. When I started drawing, I'll tell you a story, a very interesting story, how I changed my belief system and all that. When I started drawing, I was introduced to how I was introduced to art was through Instagram. I saw Kevin Okafor, I saw Chiamon Joy, I saw Ken Wadiogu, I saw Kevin Okafor, I saw Dick Demiski, I saw Marcelo Barangi, I saw all those hyper realistic artists. That was how I got into the world of art. So that was my first introduction into what art was actually is. I took it up from there without actually knowing why I am jumping into art. So it got to a point where I was trying to be like the people I saw online. Though my drawing skills grew up. Like I started drawing, I started improving, started improving. But so at a point, it didn't actually make sense to me because I will draw and go online and compare my art to that of Kel Arinze. I know Arinze was way much better than me, but I would say compare. So I judged my art based on what I saw online. I didn't actually know why I drew. Some of my concepts were I'll just go online. I saw a picture I like. I just download the picture and start drawing. So after making the drawing, I'll now infuse a meaning into it, which it should be the other way around. You meditate or try to tell a story about what you want, or the it should be the meaning should come from within, not actually out. So you find me trying to infuse a meaning after doing an art, which shows that I didn't actually have something solid behind it. It didn't have a story. So I got to a point I started, reminiscing, and it didn't actually make sense for me. So it got to a point I started asking myself questions, probably because of growth and age and maturity. So, and while reading books and developing myself, I got to listen to the audio book of this book. It means the name of the book is Ikigai. It means reason for being. Iki is life. Then Gai is what. So There's this normal diagram that actually associates itself with it. And I bet you guys, most of you guys relate with this when I try to explain this. Please, if you have any contribution, don't hesitate to ask me. If you have any contrary opinion, don't hesitate to ask me, because we are here to learn. I might be talking, but sometimes I might also make mistake. So we are here to share knowledge. So if you look at this diagram, Ikigai is actually at the center. Now, for you to find your Ikigai, you actually have to know what you love doing, what the world needs, what you can be paid for, what you are good at. Now, when you know these four things, I think someone wants to enter. Let me do some. Okay, so we're back. Okay, so what you love, when you have what you love and what you are good at, that means that thing is your passion. Your passion, what you love plus what you are good at is your passion. Then what you love and what the world needs is your mission. Then what you can be paid for and what the world needs is your vocation. What you are good at and what you can be paid for is your profession. I studied civil engineering. Had it been I told the part, that would have been my profession. But what I love doing is art. That's my profession. That's my passion. And that is what I am actually good at. Now, what if I actually want to make money from what I'm doing? You have to combine it with what the world needs and what you can be paid for. Now, as an artist, you drawing a portrait of your 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 father is, does the world actually need that? If you want to make money out of that, you have to actually look for what the world needs to combine it with what you can be paid for. So when you actually get these four things together, you find your ikigai. So you find out that you see people going through life. They have good jobs, they have they have everything within them, they have good pay, they have good pay, home pay salary, but they are not yet happy. They are not happy with what they do. Sorry, me too. They are not happy with what they do because they they are not fulfilled. Finding your purpose, finding your ikigai will make you actually happy. You see people, they earn 4 million, according in Nigeria, 10 million a month, but they are not fulfilled because something is actually missing, because they got the good side of their profession is good, is they don't do they do what they actually love? Do they do what the world actually needs? You understand? So this ikigai brings it at the center. So for us as mostly young people, trying to navigate how the world works, or how we can make a better living tomorrow, or how we we yes, it's being recorded. So how we how we how we thrive tomorrow. So we need to understand this concept because you find most of us as artists, most of the things we study in university are not actually what we are doing because at a point in life we tend to digress from what we actually thought was our purpose to what life is bending us to do. I studied civil engineering, but I can't remember the last time I went to site. Though I am still studying project management, which is actually related to what I studied. But what in me is all about creativity. That is what I like to do. So this is also me trying to find my ikigai, my purpose. Ken Wadiobo, for example, studied civil engineering, but he's a full-time artist now. So I think the concept of ikigai is very, very much important. If we know why you are born, okay, let me put it this way. There are two concepts I learned from one of my mentors, Dr. Miles Monroe. He said, your job is what you are paid to do. Your work is what you are born to do. You can be fired from your job today, but no one can take away your work. Your work is your purpose. If today you find yourself in Japan, you are going with your purpose, you are going with your work. No one can take your work away from you. Tomorrow you can get sacked from your job. So this is to actually say that your profession is not actually what will make you fulfilled. What will make you fulfilled in life is actually getting your purpose while you are on earth and fulfilling it. That is actually what will make you fulfilled in life. Because what is the essence of working from 25 years to 30 to 60 years and retiring on a job and now getting um um a, um what is it called, retirement pension while you are still alive? That means you still have something to do. You still have your mission is still run because you are still alive. You are not just existing. The concept of ikigai came in existence from Japan in Okinawa. You can check it later after this webinar. Okinawa is a city in Japan, and they have one of the oldest living humans on Earth. They live like 100 years and above, and you find them at the age of 90. They are still working because most of them know their ikigai. Most of them know their purpose. Most of them know their purpose. You still find them at 80. They still wake up because they know what they are doing. Money is not the problem because once you find your ikigai, money will follow you because by finding your ikigai, you will find what people need and what you will be paid for. So, and there's this thing that always people confuse with purpose. Your skill is like, I'm an artist, my skill is to draw. That is not my ikigai. My skill is a tool for me to fulfill my purpose. Your purpose, you can take your purpose as a verb. Your purpose might be to entertain. Okay, for instance, Davido is a musician. His purpose might be to entertain. His tool for entertainment is music. His skill is music. So his ikigai might be to entertain or to make merry or to make people cheerful. You cannot take it away from Davido. That is why you see some comedians, they move from comedy to music. For example, Nas Boy, he's a comedian and he's moving to music because his purpose might be to entertain. And you can entertain with these two tools, comedy and music. So your ikigai may not actually be the the skill that you have. The skill that you have is for you to actually use it to get your purpose. Okay, this is it that I think I've talked enough. Before we go to another topic, I would like to, have people, if have people, ask me questions, or if you have a contrary opinion to what I've been saying, you can just identify. I'll just give you the ground to ask question or contribute to what I'm saying. Okay, if there are no questions, I would like to leave the floor to Excel to, let us hear what he wants to say about this topic. Excel, can you hear me? Okay, I think Excel is not here for now. Chidindu. Okay, yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Thank you.
Yeah, can you hear me? Okay. Yeah, good evening, everyone. Sorry, I just unmuted because I was walking. So, thank you for having all of us here. My myself, I started drawing. Okay, so a little backstory. Um, I've been drawing since just dabbling and all. So, and then I think at the base of myself is like curiosity. So I think curiosity is one of my driving forces, and then ability to learn and contentment. So at my own pace. So drawing for me and purpose, finding that balance. So I think I found balance in drawing by not just on art, but the concept of like nature, understanding. Most times I take walks and just like explore the art itself. That's the world that we're living in. So, and I think sometimes we're caught up in life struggles that we forget to like enjoy the planet that we're living in. So it doesn't matter how much you have in your account. Yeah, we're all that very broke, very like we at some point most of us did not we're not sure of what next is coming. But still, if I had I would draw, I would just go draw. And for me drawing, I even when I was starting, Aguero would tell you. So he I had to learn and yeah, make lots of mistakes. And I wasn't even drawing like general way. And most of us here would see that okay, you're starting to draw, but then we had to learn the basics. That's so something Aguero told me that before you break the rules, you have to learn it first, and that will give you some confidence, and then you can now go ahead and then do what is your own. So myself, I've never even wanted to copy anyone or do anything because I thought maybe I would draw for myself and then the world would keep it. And because I knew, yeah, I had all of my life to draw. And I think this kind of approach would help. So most times, if you're drawing and you just want that quick bag, due to it's good to take commission. Yeah, I took commissions as well, but it's also good to have that like personal project that you have. Okay, this is a long term. You give yourself long term project, okay, and then you start setting up a plan, a purpose. For me, my purpose has always been curiosity, learning, research, helping, environment. And I studied civil engineering like him, and after we graduated, uh, I worked in the construction, but then I did not want to work with uh structures. So I wanted to like work with art and human beings. So that was what made me go into research and then art. And since then I've been trying to bring my work to reflect my artwork to reflect what I'm doing. So to pass that message, and even most times I go to his DM. That's why we're all here. So we have that group, we have that DM. You go to your DM or your friend, like okay, discuss the idea, discuss the concept. So when I was building the idea of like he would tell you his own story of how he used his photoshopping skills and photography to get things. So it's the same thing. So most of the other things you do, they will all come together. So, like myself, I was always curious with AI. So immediately AI came out, I was like, oh, then there was a debate like AI will take off artists, but yeah, myself, I've always been like a forward person. Like, okay, so how can we use this, and then ask questions. And recently, uh, two of my artworks. So one, the last one, uh, the AI gave like I got a picture and then it framed it to specific what I needed, and then I made that one, and then the next one too that I'm doing. So it gave me a concept. So I think uh using the tools and it helps you push your purpose rather than like just divert. And I feel like getting that message across to yourself first before the world is very important, because more like many of us did, getting just copying or drawing, and then I spoke to a friend of mine. She was asking me because I write poems and I also write as well, and she was like, okay, why do you have a title and a description for the artwork when it's not done? And I explained the story. I wanted to see from a perspective of someone who is like doesn't know anything about art. And then she just told me, oh, well, why not just go where your hand leads, and at the end you, yeah. And then I'm like, these are all perspectives, but whichever one works for you. The main thing is that you just need to be content with your pace and your path, because yeah, it's not we're not I'm not running your race for you. So I think this is what I will drop here for now, and then later on
Okay,
I would still
okay.
jump
Thank you
back
very
in.
much, Excel. That was very, very
I don't know
inspiring.
if I'm
Thank you
audible.
for sharing your story. It made me go back in the past. He calls me Aguero. That was what they used to call me in school back in those days. I don't play football. I don't. It's a long story, however. That. Thank you very much. Chijendu, are you ready to give us one or two enlightenments? We'd like to hear from you. Thank you.
Hi,
Yeah, I
can
can hear you.
you hear me? Can you hear me clearly?
If you can speak a bit louder.
Clearly, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I can hear you now.
Okay, okay. Can you hear me clearly? Okay, awesome. Thank you for this opportunity. I don't take it for granted at all. It's a privilege to speak with fellow creatives and artists, and I really want to thank you for the opportunity. Yeah. So, first of all, when I'm talking about art and purpose, there's something I wrote down. I said, um, almost all of us we started drawing or started art as a hobby. You know, most of us we didn't plan on taking it this far because there are a lot of people on the way that have dropped it, and the challenges we face right when we started drawing. Like for me, if I want to tell my personal story, I started drawing in 2020 due to the lockdown, and I never knew I had this skill or the talent in me. I just saw the as most of the stories of artists is just relatable. Like you see, I saw a picture on social media, just basically on social media, I saw hyper-realistic art, and I said I should, as this person can do it, I know I can do it. Then I started the journey, and the challenges were there. And as I usually say, we draw because we love doing it. We just draw because yeah, we love it. And at the beginning, we just do it because people just get that. There's that expression people give to you when they see something looking a bit realistic. And for me, it was like the fuel that was pushing me at that point. I'm still going to come to the area of purpose here. So it was basically doing something that it's mind blowing. It's not normal. It's not usual. You don't see this every day, and that was like something in my area and in my school and everywhere. It was not something that's usual. So I got a lot of attention from people and this and that and that. That was like basically my fear. But when I started moving forward in the career in the I'll say hobby, I started moving forward and I started getting some commissions. People are willing to pay for what I do. My parents that were not supportive at that moment, they started becoming supportive because they were now seeing some progress in what I was doing. You get. So at that point, art was now almost moving to like a business something. And the more I focused on the business area at that moment, I lost the fun inside of it. It was not that it wasn't fun, but the focus basically was now moving towards money. And money is good, but then there's this fulfillment you can't get. then you're doing something you're not enjoying. I don't know if you know what I'm saying. So it's more like a transition. It's moved to that area. And then at some point in my life as a teenager, the pressure around home, I wanted to be a medical doctor, I wanted to be this, I wanted to be that. Your friends are getting this, your friends are doing this. This is where you are at the moment. I felt so pressured. And to be honest, when close relatives, they talk down on you, it's more, I believe it's more painful when relatives, they talk down on what you're doing or your vision than outsiders because these ones are the people that you've grown up with and, you've experienced a lot with them and they're the ones now bringing your vision down. So it's quite painful. But at that moment, that was when my heart actually moved forward. And, it's actually in the midst of challenge and that was when I believe I discovered the purpose for my art. And, for me, I'm a Christian and I believe in God, right? And at some point, art just, it moved away from just being a hobby. God started using it to heal me. I encountered the book of Colossians chapter 1 verse 16, it says we were created by him and for him. I'm just cutting it short. It's more like we were created on earth for him, by him and for him. So basically, for me, I discovered that my purpose on earth is to glorify God Himself. And everything I have here and everything I'm doing is basically it should be basically for His purpose. Because He's the one that brought me here and the purpose of my life is to glorify Him. That's like the purpose for what I do. And also, in that purpose, there's still something attached because when I look back at the challenges and the tribulations I faced, when I just started, and when I discovered this talent, you know, I know that other people are going to face challenges as well. There are younger people in that kind of environment that have these potentials in them to bless their world with their skill, their gift, and their potentials because I believe everyone has a treasure inside of them. So I know the youth or the young people, the people that just coming into life, they're going to face this challenge. So basically, my purpose now got linked to the challenges I face. And now basically my art basically speaks on the struggles of the young person in society, the struggles of, you know, saying no to mediocrity, not just being like everyone in the world, being different, being living for a purpose, And it has not been, I'd say, easy or it has not been stress free to an extent. But, by the grace of God, we are growing daily. And now I've had the
Yeah, I
opportunity,
can
I'm
hear
having
you.
the
Yeah, I can hear
opportunity
you.
as well to speak
Yeah, I
to
can hear you.
can you hear me? Can you hear me? Yes. Um, and now having the privilege, to work with some of the tops in the industry that I actually admired when I just started, and working with some of them in the studio, it's a privilege, and not just only a privilege, but I believe the purpose for this is not just to just only to make the money to be known as a big artist. It's for I believe it's a voice that God is giving to me so that I could influence the younger artists, the people that just coming, the people that feeling they don't have hope. My story can actually motivate them and tell them that in all things they should rejoice
Okay,
because the
okay.
challenges are just there to build them to become stronger and better versions of themselves.
Yeah, because
So
I have
even
another
in
speaker on
that,
the lines.
okay, so I don't
But
want
just
to talk
conclude,
much, so
conclude, conclude,
I could
please.
just stop
Conclude.
there. Okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Okay, so basically, discovering purpose, I believe it's not just a one day something. We have to link the happenings in our lives, link the encounters we've had, link the works we've been creating, link the ideas we've had, and also link ourselves with the Creator Himself because, I believe, and this is
Okay.
my own belief, I don't know about any other person, but I believe we were
Okay.
created by
Thank you
Him
very
and for
much,
Him,
Izindu. That
for
was
His
very, very
glory. So
enlightening.
when we encounter
Very,
Him,
very
we
enlightening. I
live
really
in purpose.
appreciate that. We have a speaker, Rotimi,
Thank you, sir.
on the line. Rotimi is also based in the UK. So we'd like to hear from you, Rotimi. Welcome to the webinar. Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah, hi everyone. I don't know if you can hear me. I've been so inspired by Chidendu's story, and of course, Excel also. Well, I am not an artist, but I'm an art enthusiast. I love art a lot. Um, so my belief or what I think about art is I see art as therapeutic. It helps me cool down. Like I could spend the whole day in an art gallery or a museum. So that's how passionate I am about art. But what I basically do is I try to bring artists together because I've seen over the years that artists are not always celebrated. They are not given the value that they truly deserve, and that's why when you go to price some art piece, some people will price it at ridiculous prices, and they will be like, "Is it not just a line? So why am I paying so much?" But the whole process of coming about that line, they don't see the need for paying so high for it. And my role or what I do is bring artists together so they can feel valued, they can feel celebrated, and yeah, basically. But I just want to say that for anyone here, because I've seen in the chat where someone was talking about passion and all that. The truth is, just as how Sinodo has spoken earlier, you just need to be consistent in whatever you're doing. One day, you will find someone or something that's going to push you out there. So many artists started, I mean, they started like any other person, but they kept on pushing forward. And I just want to end by saying that find your unique story, find your story. I think a lot of artists they just draw, but they don't really know what they want the world to hear, what they want the world to see. So find your unique story and be consistent on it. So one day, I'm 100% sure that you eventually get that audience, that market that you're looking for.
Yeah,
So because
exactly,
I know that
exactly.
time is going, so I don't want to talk too
Thank
much.
you very
So
much. I really appreciate it. That
want
was very,
everyone
very
to speak.
inspiring
So
and
thank you very much
motivating
for
as
having
well.
me, Larry,
I
and
really
well done for
appreciate
doing
that.
this.
So we just have a couple of minutes. The Google people, they've just warned me because we just have like 15 minutes, 14 minutes left. So I would just like to address there's a comment on the session on the here by Afolabi Caleb. He said, "Thank you very much for sharing your experience with us. With the country's economic situation, can we really depend on art? I studied andragogy, adult education, but at some point I decided to focus on my passion. But with the economic situation, it's very, very difficult for me to depend solely on my passion. My question is, what's the solution?" Okay, thank you very much for this question. This is a very, very important question. I will not lie to you. When I was in Nigeria, just couple back years back, I sustained myself with commission works. All right. So now this is reality. Back in Nigeria is very, very extremely hard. Even the economy is extremely hard. Now, number one thing is you have to sustain. Now, like the 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 chart on the Ikigai drawing that I did the other day, I just showed some few minutes back. You have your vocation, which is something you are good at and what you can be paid for. Now, you have your passion, which is art. Now, you have to eat. If art doesn't bring the money yet, get a job. I'm not actually saying that a job is bad. A job will give you the leverage to build your human skills. Now, coming to the UK, I'll be very honest with you. When I was in Nigeria, I wasn't this outspoken and I was a very timid person. But since I started living on my own, I developed myself. Self development has been my watchword. I read books, I watch podcasts, I I listen to meaningful conversation. I spend most of my time listening to experts, people who I know that um, I will learn something from. So if art does not pay, you sustain. Now we have 24 hours in a day, my brother. This is not actually easy, but this is a model that I think can work. You get a job that can sustain you, that can at least put food for the table on the table for you. Then when you come back, 2 hours is enough for your art. This thing that I'm actually saying is very difficult to do, but you need to a level of concentration that is void of distractions. When you come back from your daily job, like I have someone who said he's coming back by 7 p.m. You get off your social media. That is one big distraction for us in this generation. Get off your social media. The actual work is in real life. Social media is a tool for you to advertise what you've struggled to do in real life. Get off your social media and do the work. I'm not referring to you, Caleb. Sorry. I'm just saying that we should get, something that distracts you, because if you get a job, you cannot work for 24 hours a day. Dedicate 2 hours a day with full concentration. There's something called flow, by a book called Flow, and the concept on that book is when you dedicate a certain number of hours on something that you love doing, you enter flow. Flow is a state of being inside that thing. There's an interview Arinze Stanley did in the past. He was talking about flow. It was years later that I now understood what he was actually saying about. I don't. Some of us may have experienced it. If you draw for a very long hour, you will not know when the time will pass. You will just when you just realize yourself, if someone will touch you, oh boy, you've been drawing for like 6 hours. You say, is it almost 6 hours? You've been in the state of flow. So it's actually difficult to stay on the seat and draw for hours. But the thing is, there was a real short video I did about distraction. We are suffering from the generation of infobesity. Information is too much. We just need to filter off what we look, or to take the ones that are beneficial for us. So the thing is, time management, if you get a job that will sustain you, you use the remaining number of your daily hours to focus on your passion. This is something doable. Now, the job will not be there for a long time. Get what you should focus on. Forget about commission. As far as you have something that is putting money on you, your job, forget about commission. Do focus on developing your skill and doing works that actually have a story to tell upon. The story should be something that emanates from what you feel, not what you see someone else do. Do something that is unique and authentic to you alone, because everyone is unique in their own way. You understand? By doing so, I believe you start getting fulfillment, because the current situation in Nigeria is not good. That doesn't mean we should lose hope. You understand? Because Nigeria is somewhere where if you survive in Nigeria, my brother, I bet you if you go outside, you will survive everywhere, because Nigeria is just like a basis for your foundation. It's nothing to write home about, but there are also positive aspects of being a Nigerian, because it builds you for the future. It builds you for what you are going to be in the future. You understand? So what I'll just focus on these few minutes is self-development. This is actually true. If you didn't get anything from this webinar, these last sentences of mine should be what you'll be going on with. I'm just telling that from my heart. Number one is try to learn every day. Try to learn every day. Improve your skill. There are things we call human skills. As an artist, you are supposed to be good with communication. You're supposed to be good with writing. You're supposed to be good with storytelling, because these are the things that will help you express your works. If you are called tomorrow by a gallery and said, "Oh, Joseph, this your work is nice. Could you please, tell us about this work? You know, at that moment, your communication skills will speak for you. Okay, I got a collaboration from an artist because sometimes I just send um emails, just cold emails. Nobody send me, I go just enter, find galleries, take them. I build my CV, I send them. See, this is my work, this is what I do. I tell a story about myself because I've worked on my writing. That if you read it, I'm not trying to boast, but at least it's not where I used to be before. So it shows that these human skills will help you as an artist. You know how to express yourself, you know how to express your work because we are in the creator economy. You see creators everywhere online, people talking about these things. You, as an artist, you're a creator, you are built to create. You have you have the resources. You have your phone, you have your camera, you have your data. That is all you need. Talk about your artwork, put it out on social media. Don't be shy. Don't be shy about what people. I used to be very before I wasn't even able to speak to people. Talk more of doing holding a webinar. I was once, that kind of person, but it didn't help. You have to come out of your shell. Find that thing that because I believe everyone has potential. Potential is what your hidden ability. Each and every one of us has potential. And why God doesn't reveal our potential for us is because if God reveals to you what you have to pass through to meet your goal, you might be discouraged because you will say, me go through all these things. You understand? But the thing is the process. The process is hard. First of all, have a vision of where you want to go. If you are told to score a penalty, first of all, look at the goalpost. That is your vision. Then the process is knowing where to kick the ball. Now, we are all in the process. The process is rough. Waking up early morning, juggling the job, coming back, doing your arts, doing all sorts of house chores, trying to make ends meet, and developing ourselves. So these are the process. I tried to jump the process. I There was a point I told myself, oh boy, you've arrived. I don't need to practice anymore. But that was a lie. I went back to join and I did rubbish because I thought I have learned it all. I had to go back to my drawing board, started learning how to do tones and shadings and all those things. You cannot jump the process. Any celebrity artist that you are seeing today went through this process that you are going through. You have to go through the process of getting rejections. You have to get used to rejections. People not, recognizing you. That's the normal process because everyone goes through it. And one thing that just came to my mind is social media. Don't judge your works because of the social media likes or the social media recognitions. No, those things are algorithms. Algorithms shows your work to people who he wants to show the work. It doesn't mean your work is bad when you get low likes. So it hurts or it makes you feel bad, but don't take it to heart. Some people don't post their works because they feel they get low likes. Sure, when you get like 1,000 likes, it makes sense. But don't put it like a benchmark for you to judge what you do. Sometimes the algorithm will show your work to people. Sometimes only you will see your work. That doesn't make your work rubbish or your work excellent. You understand? So, like Rutimi said, consistency because this video is gonna end very soon. Please, whenever it ends, you will see a box to write your reviews. Please, I will appreciate if you just drop your reviews, what you liked about this webinar, what you would want to be implemented in the next webinar, and further suggestions. So let us not allow social media to make us feel bad about our work. There are some times when I'll post work on Instagram, I'll get 2 likes, 14 likes. These days it bothers me less because I know my art is good. Yeah, because I've understood my self-esteem. If you post your work, it gets a low like, because the rich people who saw the work was small. That was why the reactions were like that. So let don't let it discourage you from posting your work online and doing what you are supposed to doing. And remember, the work, the grinding is in real life, not online. Everything we do is in real life, not online. Online is just like a tool for us to put out what we have done in real life. Like as I'm speaking now, I did a research. Look at my jotter. I did a research of whatever I'm saying now to be able to talk. But that is the process, you know. I had to go through this process to be able to, say something. You know, that is now I'm coming out online because I've done something in the background, not the other way around. I'll tell you a story. When I was trying to grow my Instagram, I'll go online. I'll be telling people to follow me back. Okay, Chijin, you want to say so? I'll tell people to follow me back. Follow me back. Oh, the call is about to end. Chijin, please, if you have something to say, just say. I think the call will end in a few minutes. Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah,
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
yeah.
Can you hear me? Yes. Okay, so
Oh,
just
the
on
call.
the
I think the call is
posting
ending.
issue.